Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about a topic a lot of you have been requesting over the last couple of weeks, and that is the topic of kitty cat supplies. This is going to be a video on what supplies you need to get before you get your feline friend, and this list can apply to both house cats and free range cats, but you may find if you have a free range cat that some of these items just aren't necessary for you. So let's get on with the list. The first two things on this list are food and water bowls. Now you'll want the food bowl to be quite shallow for your cat because their whiskers often get in the way, and if your cat's whiskers are touching the edge of their bowl, they may feel a little uncomfortable about eating from it. Dedicating a small kitchen plate to your cat is often the best option, but you could also use shallow dog bowls as they tend to be very wide and allow for your cat's face to fit inside them easily without their whiskers brushing on the edges. Ceramic and metallic bowls are usually the best option because they are very easy to clean. However, if you're going to be feeding one of the raw meat diets, I would personally suggest getting a heat-proof ceramic bowl, as these will be very useful if you ever need to heat up the meat or if you need to soak the bowl in boiling water to help cleanse it. For the water bowl, you'll again want something that's shallow enough for your cat to fit its face into easily. However, many cat owners recommend that the best option for water bowls is to get a water fountain or a water bowl that is constantly filtering itself. The reason for this is because a cat's natural instinct is to not drink from still water because it can be stagnant and it can be unhealthy for them. They prefer to drink from running water in the wild because this tends to be just a lot cleaner and a lot healthier. Now, many domestic cats will happily drink from still water, but if you find your cat is being a little fussy about their drink, it's definitely worth trying out a fountain-styled water bowl. I'm only going to briefly touch on the topic of food because there are so many dietary options out there for cats that I just wouldn't be able to talk about them all here. That's an entire video in itself. So regardless of what you want to feed your pet, what I recommend doing is lots and lots and lots of research. It's very, very important. There are many different diets out there, each with their own pros and cons. Some of them may suit your budget, some of them may not. Some of them may have better health benefits for your cats and you may want to go with those ones. So definitely do a lot of research, look around online, check on cat forums, check on vet forums, and always try to feed your cat the absolute best quality food that you can afford to feed them. Remember that a good diet will save you so much money in the long term when it comes to vet bills and health problems in older age. So spending a bit more money on their diet now is definitely going to save you a lot of money in the long run. If you're going to be keeping a house cat, then a litter tray is definitely a necessity. Now there are a lot of different designs out there, everything from just a basic tray to litter trays with ventilation fans and even litter trays that are self-cleaning. The litter tray you choose really depends on your budget and how much time you want to spend cleaning up kitty poop. Now in reality, it doesn't take that long to clean up a litter tray. It takes about 5, maximum of 10 minutes out of your day, so just a basic litter tray is fine for most owners. But if you aren't able to clean out their litter tray regularly for whatever reason, then a self-cleaning litter tray or a ventilated tray at the very least may be better options for you. Keep one thing in mind, if you own a dog, they are very likely to eat your cat's poop. It's very common behavior, a lot of dogs do it. No one really knows why they do it other than they probably just like the taste. There's no logical reason for them doing it. There's no health benefits for them doing it. So some dogs just like eating cat poop. So keep that in mind. If you do own a dog, you may want to get a dog-proof litter tray. To go with the litter tray, you're of course going to need some cat litter. And I'm saying it again, but there are loads and loads of different options out there. Everything from natural cat litters to clumping clay cat litters to biodegradable cat litters. There's so much choice out there. Again, it's worth doing research if you want a specific kind, if you want to have something that's more environmentally friendly, if you want maybe a homemade cat litter. There are those options out there and it's worth researching them if that's what you want. One more thing you're going to need for your litter tray is a pooper scoop, and you'll need to get one that is designed for the particular type of litter you've chosen, as some litters are bigger than others and you may require a scoop with bigger holes in it so that you can just scoop up the poop and shake it and the litter falls through and the poop and the dirty stuff stays in the scoop ready for you to just throw away. collars tend to be things that many house cat owners say that their cat doesn't need because it's not going outside ever. However, they are still incredibly useful to have, and it's definitely a good idea to invest in one even if your cat isn't going outdoors. The reason for this is because it is always possible for your cat to escape outside of your home. Now, this could be when a delivery man or a handyman comes by and accidentally lets them out, or when a guest comes over, maybe you're having a party or something and the door is constantly being opened and closed, or maybe your cat just escapes. If they get out onto the streets, they'll need something to identify that they have an owner, because if you have a pound that picks up cats, you may find that your cat does end up going straight to the pound. A worrying prospect for some, but something that can easily be fixed with a simple cat collar. As soon as someone sees your cat has a collar, they know it's owned, and most people will just leave it be, and you should be able to find it, hopefully within a short amount of time of it escaping. Just remember, when you're choosing a collar, to get something with a safety release. Now, you can either get collars which have a safety buckle which just pops open if the collar has pressure put on it, or you can get ones with elastic in them, so the collar just opens up wide if it does get caught on anything, and the cat can just reverse out of it and it pops over their head and there's no injury caused to the cat. These are very important because if your cat is outside and they do get tangled up in a tree or a plant or anything at all, if they get tangled up and their collar isn't a safety one, it can easily cause serious harm to them when they're trying to escape. So making sure it's a safety collar means that if they do get stuck, then they can just pop out of their collar and they won't get injured. ID tags and microchipping may be a good option for you depending on where you live. People here don't tend to microchip cats, so it's not something we really do, but ID tags can be a really quick way of someone identifying your cat, and if they pick it up on the street, you may find that you get a phone call from a lovely stranger who is trying to return your pet to you. So, totally worth investing in them. Cats can live as long as 18 years or more, and in that time they're probably going to need to see a vet at least once or twice, which means you are going to need a cat carrier for them. Now, you can get hard plastic carriers or you can get fabric carriers. I personally prefer the hard plastic ones. I find them to be much more safe and much more secure than the lovely looking fabric ones. But again, it's completely up to you. Just make sure you have one so that you can easily transport your cat to a vet or wherever they need to go if you need to ever travel with them. Brushes and combs are especially important if your cat is going to be long-haired or if it's going to have a thick or curly coat. They're going to need grooming at least once or twice a week, if not a couple of times more. It really depends on the coat type. However, even if you have a short-haired cat, a brush is a great investment. Most cats will love a grooming session a few times a week, and it is a fantastic way of building a bond with your pet. Grooming your cat also has many health benefits for you, including lowering stress and anxiety, and it can even make you feel better when you're feeling a little under the weather. Cats and kittens especially are very playful creatures. They're natural hunters, so they really do love to play with a variety of different toys. It helps to stimulate their brain, helps to wear them out a little, and again, it'll help you to bond with your cat. Because every cat has a different personality, it is kind of difficult to recommend specific toys. But try out as many as you can. If you see something new in the shop that you just want to pick up and see how it goes, go ahead and grab it. It's worth spending the money on. It's worth finding out if your cat loves it, because if they do, they will love that toy forever and ever and ever. If your cat doesn't have access to different leveled surfaces, or you don't want them climbing on your work surfaces, a really great alternative can be a cat tree. Now, these do cost a lot of money, but they're a great investment and they should last you a very long time. Go to your local pet shop, have a look at the different cat trees they have, and pick out something that you think will be suitable. The taller the tree, usually the better your cat likes it. When it comes to your cat's claws, you have two logical options. The first is clipping them yourself, and I do have a video on how you can clip your cat's claws. I will link it down below in case you want to check it out. But if you don't want to clip your cat's claws, or you're a little worried about doing it, then invest in a scratching post, because this will prevent your cat from scratching your furniture or anything you don't want them scratching, and it's also a good place for them to mark as their own territory. Cats do like to use scratching to mark things as belonging to them, so a scratching post can help them to relieve this behavior. One thing you should never consider doing to your cats is declawing them. It's one of the cruelest things that you can do to a cat, and if your vet is recommending that you do that, then you definitely need to change vets. The majority of vets are against declawing cats, and an ethical vet will never recommend it to you. You may even find if you bring up the topic of declawing that they will tell you all the reasons why it's not a good idea. Remember that declawing a cat isn't just removing its claws, it's removing the entire first knuckle of each finger. So if you took the first knuckle off of each one of your fingers, that's what you'd be left with. Now, one thing that I'm putting at the very end of my list, because this is really, really optional, and that is a cat bed. If any of you have ever owned cats before, or if you currently own cats, then you'll know that cats don't often sleep in an area that you've designated for them. They tend to sleep wherever they want. Some cats may really love and appreciate a bed of their own, but many cats will just ignore it and go and sleep in their favorite corner or on the tiniest piece of material on the floor that they can find. They're peculiar animals, but that's just the way they are. So there is my list of supplies you'll need before getting a cat. Don't forget, after you get your cat, you may need to sign them up with a local vet, and you'll also need to check your local laws when it comes to getting vaccinations and what you are required by law to get done for your cat. Spaying and neutering your cat is also incredibly important, not only to prevent unwanted litters in the future, but also to prevent unwanted health problems in your cat. There are many very serious health problems that your cat can avoid just simply by getting them spayed or neutered when they're around 6 months old. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave us a thumbs up to help support the channel. You can also share this video with your friends. Perhaps you know someone who is planning on getting a cat soon and needs a little bit of a shopping list. And you can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!